praises to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopefully elect. It's the brother Isaiah from the Pittsburgh GMS camp, coming at you with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Lord willing, this is edifying. Alright, and basically, I want to entitle this lesson, okay, all things work for the good of them that love him, even the bad things. Alright? And that's a tentative title, you know, if I'm using that right word. The title is subject to change. Alright, but basically, all things work for the good of them that love the Most High, that fear him, you see? And how do you show the Most High that you love him? Which I believe is, I can't remember if it says love or fear, but I believe it is love. Okay, and how do you show the Lord that you love him? See, love and fear for Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi go hand in hand. You see, because the way that you show the Most High that you love him is by keeping his commandments, which tells us in the scriptures, right? Okay? Well, this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments, right? And his commandments are not grievous. So that's how we show the Most High that we love him. Right? So it goes hand in hand. Alright? And it also says at the beginning of wisdom is the fear of the Most High. You see? There's another one too, which is more so about the end of this one, but it still holds true. It says, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy time, and strength of salvation. The fear of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, or the fear of the Lord, which is what it says in English, is his treasure. Alright? So all things go for the good of them that, you know, like I already said. Okay? And so you go through certain things, and see, we got to remember not to only praise Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi when things are going well. You know? And it can be hard, you know, sometimes to enact that, you know, you have to be at a certain level of spiritual maturity. I'm sure that there's some growth that I still need to have. Okay, but I do catch myself some moments where I'm going through things, still saying the water for at least having me in this truth. You know, this is a part of the truth. You know, thanking the Lord that, you know, at least I'm still in this understanding. Because sometimes you go through things that are very, you know, very stressful. It's a part of the walk. The scriptures say, we shall through much tribulation enter into the kingdom of heaven. So there's many different aspects where you may go through things, you know, whether you are a man or a woman, okay? Whether you are a man or a woman. But, see, understanding this truth, understanding what this walk is about, okay, can lead you to having peace. You see, it can lead you to having peace. All right? Matter of fact, the scriptures say, all things that were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope. You see? So all these things are written for our learning, that we through the patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope. I had to say it verbatim again, because by knowing the scriptures, you are comforted. See, when you don't know the scriptures, you don't understand what's going on. You don't get it. You're stressed out. You're like, why the hell, all right, am I going through this right now? You see? But when you know the scriptures, okay, for example, you may feel like the life that you're leading, it could have been better. Maybe it would have been better if I wouldn't have met this person, or maybe it wouldn't have been better if I wouldn't have been married, or maybe it would have been better if, whatever the case may be, if I had a woman, or if I, you know, the brothers have different situations, you know, or if I didn't have a husband, or if I had a husband, for the aquaf out there, okay? But see, you have to remember, whatever life that you would have led, if you are a part of the hopeful elect, okay, because not everybody on this path will make it, Lord willing, I endure unto the end, and Lord willing, the sincere brethren in aquafium endure to the end as well, all right? But none of the hopeful elect are going to have lives that they love. The scriptures literally say, and they love not their life unto death. You see, he that loveth his life shall lose it. Well, that's not the one that, there's something about loving your life, but I'm going to just quote the one that I know, as you see I'm in transit. He said, he that saveth his life shall lose it, and he that loseth his life for my sake shall save it. Roughly paraphrasing, okay? So if you lose your life for Bahasham Yahawashi, then you shall gain it in the kingdom of heaven. You see? So what does that mean? All right? Because people have aspirations. People have things that they want to do, that they have wanted to do and do want to do. All right? And so, you know, when we come into this truth, those gears shift. You see? Brothers have many things that they wanted to do before they came into truth. Whether it be to be a rapper, okay, to be a producer, to be a singer, to be a multifaceted artist, to be whatever the case may be, of these things that will take up your time and that will put you in a certain limelight. Okay, a lot of brothers, you know, whether you want to be in sports, okay, one of the Akim was in the basketball. He wanted to go to the league. I'm pretty sure that was his end goal, to go to the league. But the Lord had other plans for him. You see, and he chose Bahasham Yahawashi over those things, right? Which is beautiful, all right? But before that became the case, he had other aspirations, as I mentioned before. And so the Lord has a way of changing your life, okay, from what you once thought it to be or what you thought it was going to be. You see? And making your life something else. And so sometimes people don't take that too well. They're impacted by it and they feel like, oh man, you know, so like you for rambling, but I'm, you know, going into this. They think like, oh man, you know, what is my life's purpose? You know, what do I do now? You know, if you're a woman and you have a husband, well, you know, your life's purpose and what you do now is whatever your husband wants to do if he's a man of the Lord. You see? Now, of course, there are things you're going to do in wisdom, okay, that may help build certain things up. But the person with the ultimate say-so is your husband, okay, because it's been commanded by Bahasham Yahawashi that the wives submit unto the husband in all things. So that is a part of your story now. You see? In some women, you know, I perceive may feel like that is an ultimate form of servitude. All right. Well, I'll start by saying this: when you look up the etymology for the word woman, it does actually mean a servant. All right, but continue to hear me out, because I know some people hear that, women in particular, because I'm speaking about women, and they'll say, "Oh, I ain't nobody serving. I ain't serving nobody." Well, hold on, sister. Hold on, Aqua. Now, the men are servants to Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. You know, Paul speaks about us being yoke fellows and prisoners of hope. I don't think Paul speaks about the prisoners of hope. I think it's in the Old Testament, in the book of Zechariah, if I'm not mistaken. But it says, turn ye to the stronghold, ye prisoners of hope. See, we're bound by the hope that we have in Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, all right, that we will make it into the kingdom of heaven. We're bound to that. That is we don't have anything else. If we don't serve Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, we're not going to make it out of this place alive. But if we do, we have a chance. Therefore, we're in captivity to that hope that we may make it. All right? We are servants of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. We're servants of the Most High, okay, and we're brethren of Hamashiach Yahawashi, okay? But we also serve Yahawashi. You see? Because there's a parable that's given forth about a man that's been given these different talents, okay, these measures of money, so to speak, spiritual money, and they're told to go out and flip these talents, okay, to bring in increase. Now, it's put forth that out of these men, one of the men took his talent and he hid it in a napkin. He didn't want to do the work. He was scared to do the work that was required, okay, and he hid, and he decided, you know what, I'm not going to do it. And what happened? When his master came back, which represents Yahawashi, what did he do? He cast him out. He cast him out. So that means there's an obligation for the men of the Lord that we have to do something. Faith without works is dead. We have to do something in order to obtain this thing. Now, it's not through those works that we obtain it, but we still have to do it. Okay, and likewise, there are things that are required of women. Now, there may be women who are in ignorance, who the Lord may decide that he's going to have mercy upon them because they're in ignorance and they don't know these requirements. But those of you that know better, the scriptures say, to whom much is given, much is required, and to whom men commit much, they shall require of him the more, roughly paraphrasing, right? So likewise, see you women that are in this truth, so to speak, that know the scriptures, that read the Bible, that have heard the sermons, these epistles gone out, and that have been said, this is what you should do as a woman, this is also what you should do. All right, you've heard that. So by disobeying that, you become worthy of punishment. The scriptures say, the servant that knew his master's will and did it not shall be beaten with many stripes. And that's not just going for the men, okay, that's going for you women as well, especially if you've been given these commandments, and you can continue to purposely or hard-heartedly break them, okay? But, and I don't went all this far on the women, but this goes for men too. This is a balance, all right? Men, like I started it with, we have our obligations as well, okay? And you men and you women that know better, you have your obligations. You have your obligations as well, all right? So, okay, we have to remember that the Lord does these things for a purpose. So going back to the topic, all right? Going back to the topic at hand. All things work to the good of them that love the Most High, that fear the Most High. So you can't be afraid if something is going in line with what the Most High would want you to do. You can't be afraid to do it. You can't be afraid to do it. You have to trust in the Most High that by you doing those things, he will cover you. Look at Abigail. Abigail's husband, who was her husband? Nabal, I think it was Nabal. Abigail, okay, she feared Yahawah, Yahawashi. Her husband, he was being a nigga, okay? But because her fear of Yahawah, Yahawashi, the spirit that the Lord put on her to understand that King David was his anointed, she said, you know what, it will be a righteous thing if I were to recompense David for the righteousness and kindness he has showed us by giving him some of this food. And I'm going to trust in Yahawah and do this, all right? And she followed order, because after she did it, because she perceived that they was going to die, after she did it, she still told him what happened. She still said, look, my husband, I did this. I'm sorry I went outside of your orders, and I did this, all right? I gave this food to David and his men, and so on and so forth. So she still kept order to a degree. She did something in righteousness, all right, to protect their lives, okay, because that was a righteous act, all right, to render that payback, okay. Especially now, don't get simple, because they had more than enough to do it. He went to, what did he go, shear his sheep, or he had his harvest? I can't remember what it was, but they had way more than enough money and resources to help David, and he was being a grimy nigga. Now, don't go taking the last of the rent money, and you know what I'm saying? Don't take the last of the rent or the bill money, all right? And then, well, I'm gonna do this righteous thing. Because sometimes you ain't able to do certain things and give the alms you may want to give. So those might be the particular cases where it's like, okay, you might have to make a wise decision. Well, we got to pay this bill, so we might have to hold off for a little bit, or the bill gonna get cut off. We ain't gonna have no phones. You'll be trying to learn some new numbers, because, whatever the case may be, you see, use wisdom. Don't get simple. Don't just go around disobeying your husband. I'm not promoting that, but what I am saying is, because her husband was wicked, and they had that abundance, and he didn't want to give of his substance to David, to the Lord's anointed, what happened? The Lord took his ass out, and he covered her for being a righteous woman and gave her to a righteous man. You see? So don't be afraid to do what the Most High have commanded you to do in obeying your husband, especially a man that's in his truth. Don't be afraid to do that. Because Yahawashi have required us to do, you know, and instead of being afraid to take action towards those things, we should be afraid of what will happen if we don't. We should be afraid of what will happen if we don't obey Yahawashi. Whenever a warning goes out and you get cut by it, you should ask yourself the question: Am I doing this? Am I doing this? Am I worthy of this rebuke right now? Do I fit this category? Okay? Is that me? Okay, and if the answer is yes, then it should be, okay, if this is me, if I fit this category, then I need to change that. You see, I should change that. I should do better. And that's just all it is. We just got to do the best we can. It ain't going to always be, you know, we're not going to be perfect on this side. We're not going to be perfect on this side. We're striving for perfection. See, we're striving for that. But it ain't going to happen on this side. So anyway, like I said, I'm going to just go ahead and end it there. I want to give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Yahawashi. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the whole for the elect. Yahawah, Yahawashi, Barakatam. To the sincere listeners, okay, that's preaching this word in truth and in sincerity.